Hyundai has unveiled its all-new i20, a car it hopes will become a top seller in the increasingly important subcompact B segment. The i20's designers in Rüsselsheim, Germany, set out to win new customers with more interior space and stylish design. Our car tester, Robert Sarting, says the new i20 has been developed in Germany to meet the needs of European customers. The look comes from Hyundai's design centre in Rüsselsheim. In contrast to the Kia, which aims for an extroverted, sporty look, Hyundai has focused on clean and elegant lines. The A-pillar in the new Hyundai i20 is thinner and shorter. That allows for a larger field of vision and greater visibility at intersections and when manoeuvring in tight spaces. Thomas Bürkler, who used to work for BMW, was in charge of the design. He says they first consulted the engineers and tackled the design. The roof was lower and the car is wider. The stretched wheelbase also makes for a more elegant, sophisticated look. The new Hyundai i20 is also longer, more than 4 meters in length. The deep front now features the signature hexagonal grille. At the rear of the flat roof, the C-pillar features a high gloss black finish. Markus Schreck, managing director of Hyundai Germany, says the company began focusing on design in 2013. That's what draws customers, research shows. That's a change from 4 or 5 years ago. The second focus is delivering a lot of car for the price. We're checking out the most economical gas engine version, the Blue 1.2. Fuel consumption's rated at 4.7 litres per 100 kilometres. In Germany, the Trend version starts at €15,450. Robert Sarting says that Europeans increasingly favour economical diesel engines with low emissions, especially for compacts. That's why the i20 comes in 2 diesel versions, and the gasoline-powered engines have been overhauled to provide more torque, especially at low and high RPMs. That boosts acceleration, especially in the important 80 to 120 kph range. Markus Schreck also notes that the i20 has the largest trunk of its class. Plus, the i20 has incorporated other upmarket features you don't normally see in this category, like a heated steering wheel and full-length panoramic sunroof. These are all features that distinguish the i20 from its competition. Robert says the new i20 is a serious contender in a very competitive class. Hyundai's main draw used to be price, but these days it's also looks and design, and their technology is solid too. A 911 Porsche is always something special, but this one is even more so. It's a GTS. Its 3.8-litre engine delivers 316 kilowatts of power. This Porsche is an athletic standout in every driving situation. Porsche's August Achleitner says the car will appeal to customers who tend towards the GT3, but would prefer something a bit less extreme, a bit more for everyday driving. And this Porsche fits the bill. When you take the Carrera GTS out on the racetrack, it's clear. This car is no lane compromise. Former race car driver Klaus Niedzwiecz puts the 911 GTS through its paces. Klaus Niedzwiecz says an aspirated engine like this GTS has reminds him of his early days as a race car driver. Back then, they didn't have turbos. When it comes to responsiveness, this car is top-notch. The engine puts out 430 horsepower and 440 newton-meters of torque. When you tweak an aspirated engine to deliver more power, you usually lose torque, but that's not the case here. There's plenty of torque even in the middle of the range, so there's plenty of power too. The standard suspension is the same as in the Carrera and Carrera S, but for those who prefer it a bit tighter, there's also an active suspension management. The GTS is available in rear wheel and all-wheel drive. A manual 7-speed transmission is standard. For an extra €4,000, there's also a dual-clutch automatic option. For both transmission versions, top speed is more than 300 kph. Klaus Niedzwiedz hits the brake and downshifts, and yes, the car responds perfectly. It's very precise. When you hit the gas at the apex of the curve, the rear stays in a nice neutral position. That's because the rear wing gives a bit of down thrust. All in all, this is a fun car to drive.
Insgesamt muss man sagen, es macht reichlich Spaß.
The 911 is available in coupe and convertible versions with and without all-wheel drive. We tested the hardtop version in all-wheel drive. Aided by its 7-speed transmission, the 911 takes just 4.4 seconds to make the sprint to 100 km an hour. Porsche says the all-wheel drive GTS uses less than 10 litres Premium Plus per 100 km. That might be rather optimistic though. The GTS's front fascia set it apart from the Carrera S visually. The GTS also features tinted headlights and matte black centre-locking wheels. The badging and the retractable rear spoiler are also black. All in all, Klaus says this GTS is an absolute pleasure, especially on the racetrack, but it's also great fun on a country road. It has power, torque, and it's even great for everyday driving. If this sounds like it's your speed, you might want to start saving up. The base model sells for nearly €120,000 in Germany. An all-wheel drive convertible will set you back another $20,000 on top, and extra options will up the price tag even more. Mercedes presents the new GLE Coupe. It's a cross between coupe and SUV, something BMW has long offered in its X6. The roof contour over the 4 frameless doors sweeps down from the B-pillar toward an unmistakably coupe rear. Mercedes' top 3-litre V6 engine, the GLE 450 AMG, achieves 270 kilowatts and 520 Newton meters. It will hit German showroom floors this summer. BMW has given its 6 Series a facelift. Beamer has sold over 80,000 of this series, including coupes, convertibles, and from 2012 on, the Grand Coupe. The standard equipment for all models has been expanded. Now, for example, full LED headlights are standard. The front kidney grille has been slightly modified, and the front and rear aprons accentuate the car's width. It's every motorhead's dream to ride in the car with the spirit of ecstasy on the hood. Our tester, Mathis Kurat, believes one of the grandest experiences you can have is to sit in a Rolls-Royce Phantom. It may feel like driving a city bus, but it's far more comfortable. It's an experience for both the driver and the passengers. Rolls are handmade in Goodwood, England, where Mathis is headed now. In a Rolls, of course, to see how the legendary automobiles are created. After BMW bought Rolls-Royce, it moved the production from Crewe in the north to the south coast. The modern production halls nestled in the tranquil countryside turn out 3,000 to 4,000 vehicles per year. Inside the halls, instead of automated assembly lines and robots, flesh and blood people build the Rolls. Assembly is performed largely by hand, as the firm's CEO explains. Thorsten Müller-Oetwers says close to 90% of the work is done manually. Well over 800 man-hours go into one automobile. There are just 2 robots in the plant and they're in the paint shop. Everything else is done by people, and for a good reason. Every Rolls-Royce is highly customized to the buyer's individual needs. That in itself rules out conventional series production methods. The high-quality standards begin with the choice of materials. Every leather hide is inspected for damage, even from mosquito bites, before it's cut into the required pieces by machine. But the pieces are sewn together by hand. Nearby, craftsmen prepare the wooden parts. All the sanding is done manually to achieve optimum results. Tiny flaws are touched up and erased. Then come the final coats of varnish and polishing. And then yet another inspection. Not until every piece has passed several quality inspections is the dashboard installed in the car, also by hand, of course.
Every day happy that I'm working over here, and definitely it's the best work I have ever done.
Chrissy Deacon is in charge of laying the fuel lines and compressed air hoses.
You ask people, where do you work? And they say Rolls-Royce. It's like, wow. So it's nice to have that feeling on my side when people ask me where I work. So it's good.
Now the time has come to marry or combine the body and the powertrain, consisting of the engine, transmission, driveshaft and axles. Here too, every screw and every connection is secured by hand. In the next phase, a worker puts the seats and seatbelts in. And, close to the end of the production process, another employee installs the doors. Finally, the big moment has arrived. The Rolls-Royce drives under its own power. Before it leaves the plant, each car is thoroughly tested and inspected once more to make sure the tonneau cover fits perfectly and the gaps between panels are just right. Everything is noted down in detail, right down to how accurately the various covers in the interior open up. The rain test makes sure all the seals are tight. Another test shows that the suspension offers the required comfort. Only when the Rolls-Royce has passed every one of these tests is it delivered to the customer. There's only one thing that really bothers Mathis Kurat. He can't find anything to gripe about. This Rolls-Royce seems to be perfect in every way.
Nahezu perfekt.
Our tester, Reinhold Deisenhofer, says horizontal stripes make people and cars look wider. But unlike fashion, he says that's a good thing with cars. And horizontal lines set the new Audi Q3 apart from its predecessor. So do its new engines. They're up to 17% more fuel efficient thanks to cylinder deactivation, which Audi now offers in the Q3. Audi calls this technology Cylinder on Demand, or COD for short. The system functions by deactivating two of the engine's 4 cylinders. It varies the stroke of the valves on the engine's second and third cylinders and stops them under low and intermediate loads, and when coasting. Efficiency in the active cylinders is increased. For the Q3, Audi offers a 1.4-litre TFSI engine with COD technology. On the inside, Reinhold says the Q3 is a premium car, but that's the secret of their success. Audi offered the first SUV that was both luxurious and compact. Before that, there were only simpler models like the Toyota RAV4. Our test vehicle has a 2-litre TFSI engine under the hood. Its 162 kilowatts of power allow the Q3 to accelerate from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 6.4 seconds. Audi says fuel consumption is 6.7 litres per 100 kilometres. The Q3 tops out at 233 kilometres per hour, and it's available with a variety of optional extras, as our tester points out. He says his favourite is the adaptive suspension known as Drive Select, as the different modes really do make a difference. Dynamic is sporty, efficiency is efficient, and comfort really is cushy. And Reinhold says another sensible and helpful extra is Audi Connect. Not only can it update your sat-nav with the latest traffic info, it also knows the next day's weather forecast, or if parking spots are occupied. It can even direct you to the next good restaurant. The MMI navigation system with Audi Connect is available for €2,900 extra. Audi's developers have also tried to increase driver comfort by fine-tuning the suspension. On the outside, bold horizontal lines emphasise the wideness of the Q3's body. The single-frame radiator grille dominates the car's front end. At the rear, the trunk has a cargo volume of 460 litres. That's generous for a compact SUV. In comparison, the BMW X1 holds 420 litres. Reinhold says the blinkers are also striking. The dynamic LED turn signals let other road users see where you want to go out of the corner of an eye. That's good for safety. Audi introduced them in their R8 sports car, and now they're in the Q3. There's a power-operated tailgate too. Overall, the Q3 has shed 75 kilos and consumes less fuel. Only its list price has risen slightly.
Der Anschaffungspreis ist auch etwas höher geworden.